The collapse of Western civilization is upon us. It's been a while, it's been such a long time since I recorded, since I posted on my channel. I've just been very busy with other endeavours, and I thought, what a way to begin, what a way to regain my momentum by talking about the collapse of the Western civilization, the Western world as we know it, the future demise, the dystopian future that awaits for the majority of the populace over the next 5 to 10 years. And the reason why I think it's a beautiful way to tie in for these series of videos that I'm going to be displaying is because you see on the news, you see the events that are occurring, especially in the Western world, with the upcoming US elections at the end of the year, the UK elections that occurred on the 4th of July a couple of weeks ago. You're seeing the riots in Paris, the Paris Olympics are about to commence, and now there's a national security risk. Marine Le Pen's rise on the far right, Germany's rise, the EU elections. There's so much to cover in terms of the political standpoint, and this isn't a political channel. That's not what I'm talking about. The reason why these factors are so important and why this actually influences and affects you is because this will lead to the collapse of the Western civilization that we know of. And what the point that I'm hammering home, why this matters to you, is because you don't have any more time to waste. I don't care if you don't reside in the Western world. I don't care if you're from India or China or Pakistan and you're currently watching this around the globe. This will impact you. This is imperative. You don't have time to waste because that Western collapse that is imminent, that influence is going to transcend across the entire planet. The globalists, the elites, they want that central government. They want censorship. They want control. And the longer that you procrastinate, the longer that you take to get your shit together, and that you remain as this broke individual who doesn't have any ambitions, who doesn't have any resources or finances, who hasn't got his life in order, you are going to fall behind. This needs to be a wake-up call. The events happening in the West, Donald Trump's assassination, we were half an inch away from civil war in the United States. It broke headlines. Please understand that if civil war broke out in America, this would have a rippling effect across the entirety of Europe, on the continent that I live in, onto the entire planet. There would have been civil war. We were half an inch away from civil war. You look at the UK, the left-wing government in charge. British culture that we know of today, sovereignty being eradicated, being eroded before our very eyes. Mass immigration, globalization, what does this mean for you? This has massive implications. This has massive implications in terms of your future quality of life, in terms of what you can access, in terms of housing, in terms of health service, in terms of the person that you become. There's going to be more challenges ahead. There's going to be more hurdles ahead. Life is only going to get tougher, especially when we're on the verge of Western collapse. Now, Liz Truss, a very controversial political figure in the UK who was Prime Minister for approximately 44 days, who gets ridiculed all the time, she wrote a book that we have 10 years to save the West. I haven't read the book, but I saw the title, and I'm very keen to read that book, but it's a theory that I've had for many, many years. It's been brewing for a long time. And the reason why I've taken this political stance in this video, and I haven't in the past, is because this will have rippling effects, and this will have detrimental effects, and this will impact your life. You might not see the impact today. You might not see the impact tomorrow, but this will impact you in 3 to 5 years. If Britain goes into civil war, if America goes into civil war, different cultures, different ideologies clashing. This is what the globalist elites want. They want division between the commoners. They want division between the peasants. It's black versus white. It's liberal versus far right. It's Republican versus the Democrats. It's conservative versus Labour. It's the Muslims against the Christians. They want this worldwide division. They don't want a unanimous, unified population to then revolt against the elites. This is important to you because in the midst of civil war and the Western collapse, this is only going to make your life harder. And that's why you only have a small window left to actually get your life together. And this is why I don't want to keep talking about things like NoFap, because that's so insignificant to things like what's about to occur. You don't understand what's going to happen in the next 5 to 10 years. This isn't me trying to scaremonger or scare you or instill fear. I'm trying to make you see a positive light in this, that if you don't get your act together now, you're going to struggle a lot in the next coming years, into the next coming decade, etc. You should already be on NoFap. NoFap should be a lifestyle. You shouldn't even be counting days. You shouldn't have me telling you that you need to stop quitting pornography. If you're not even at that level, you're so far behind already. You're still sat there playing 6 to 7 hours of video games. You're still sat there, you're not even hitting the gym. You're not even doing regular exercise. You're not even eating clean. You're still drinking Diet Coke. You're still drinking alcohol on a regular basis, smoking, vaping, doing these piss poor habits while the world is about to collapse upon us. This is your window of opportunity. This is going to affect you massively. What's occurring in the Western world is going to have rippling effects across the globe. Please comprehend this. Please understand this. The implications, the ramifications it's going to have on your personal life. The healthcare, the housing crisis, the population explosion. It's going to have detrimental impacts. The rise in taxes, whether you want to start a business, whether you want to be self-employed, whether you're studying in a certain career, in a certain field. This is going to impact every single person. And I urge you, this is my message to my subscribers. This is a message to my viewers. If you haven't got your life in order, you don't have the luxury to mess around. You really don't. If you're sat there going to clubs, going to festivals on a weekly basis, and your life is not in order, and that's imperative here. This is the paramount point. I'm not saying don't have fun if your life is in order. But I know so many people in my personal life, and I know this is true nationally and internationally. There's people that are unemployed, that are on universal credit, on benefits, that haven't got their life together, that are jumping up and down 2 a.m. in clubs. What are you doing? Get your life in order. Once your life is in order, you can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. Your life is not in order. You haven't got the luxury. You can't afford. Time is ticking and your window of opportunity is slowing down. And the longer you wait, the harder it's going to be, because the hurdles are going to only ever increase, especially when civilization of what we know today will collapse. You have to save yourself in order so that you have the luxury to have fun. To, if you need to leave the country, you can leave the country. If you need to leave the continent, you can leave the continent. If your life is not in order, you can't afford to do any of these things. You're sat there and your mental health is in the gutter. Well, of course it's in the gutter. You're sat there watching porn 4 times a day and you think your mental health is going to improve. It's not rocket science, lads. I've said this for a long time and I'm going to continue banging on the drum because I care about you guys. Because I don't want to see, as civilization collapse, I don't want to see young men get even weaker and weaker and fall into further misery and despair than they already are in their predicament. You guys are already in a gutter. I don't want you to fall further down, and that is the current predicament. That is what your future is at the moment. I don't want to keep talking about no fap and stop drinking alcohol. These are trivial things. These are things that you shouldn't be doing anyway. You need to be moving on to bigger and better things, because I'm telling you, civilization is going to collapse. Look at the events occurring in the US. Look at even Canada. Justin Trudeau facing charges with the court. You look at the state in the UK. You look at the state in France when there's riots, there's religious battles, there's conflict everywhere. This, I'm telling you, is only going to get worse. You have to wake up. Western civilization, as we know it of today, is on the verge of collapse. And only you, an autonomous individual, only you, with that small window of opportunity, can make a difference in your life today. Only you can make that difference, but you have to get your act together. Smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I'll see all of you guys for my next video. Peace.